Hello everyone, welcome to Oliveboard. My name is Dinkar and I welcome you all in this session. I hope everybody is doing fine, great and feeling healthy, and I hope everybody is following all the COVID-19 protocols properly. As you all know that please that the exams are already around the corner and everybody has to be healthy for giving the examination. So please be healthy and remain safe and make your family also safe from all these things. And thank you for joining the session. Today is Monday, so I hope everybody knows that we are running this 100-day series for all of you, especially for RBI Grade B 2022 examination. But not exactly, you can just say that it is only for RBI. It is for all the examination which you are going to give in the near future, because all the topics which are there for any kind of banking examination, everything is covered over here. Okay, so this is a master descriptive answer writing series. Just wait a sec. Sorry. It's today we are doing our RBI Grade B 2022 courses. Here we are studying regarding the basics of economy. Okay, whatever we are going to do over here, we have already completed 15 lecture in this series. 15 lectures have already been completed. Okay, so these are the very basic series. Normally we have started for RBI Grade B 2022, but this is especially for those people who have just no knowledge regarding like from where, what, how to start with the economy section, what is the basics of economy, what to study, what not to study, what comes under which kind of headings and all those things. So we have all done that in our previous 14-15 lectures. So for now we are going to study some of the most important aspects of our Indian economy. Based on that, our Indian economy is dependent on all these things. Today we will be discussing regarding the energy security. I hope everybody has heard this word energy security, but today we are going to discuss this in detail. Just that major portion we are going to discuss. We are not going into very technicalities type of things. Okay, so there is no kind of technicalities that we are discussing over here. It will be only just we will be seeing what comes under this energy security and what all we have to remember whenever any questions related to energy security comes in any of the examination. So what exactly data should we have, what exactly we should remember regarding this. So if how many people have joined, just they can just give me either a thumbs up signal or something like that. So I will be seeing like how many people have joined. So let me know, guys, how many people have joined this series today. Okay, Brightside, hello, hi, guys. Good to see you. Good to see you here. Thank you for joining. Anybody else who is there? Okay, Vinay Kumar, welcome. Ligita, welcome to the session. विनय रिगार्डिंग लेखपाल का कोर्स भी किया था लेकिन अब शो नहीं हो रहा. विनय कुमार, प्लीज email to your query to your Oliveboard support forum, so they will be helping you out. Hello Akriti, good evening. Oh my god, lots of people are here. Oh, everybody is simply sitting there and listening to me. Oh, first of all, during starting of the lecture, you should say good morning, good evening, whatever you wanted to say, thumbs up or whatever it is, okay? Because I feel very motivated that, okay, people are there to listen to me, okay? Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the lecture. We will be starting right away. Fine? Okay. So, first of all, men quest for energy. Since the civilization or since the men came to this earth, there are huge the people were in search of type of energy, because energy is required everybody. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I also feel why I am taking lecture till Thursday only. I should take on Friday, Saturday, Sunday also, but actually this series is only for Monday. Series is only for Monday, and rest of the things will be from Monday to Thursday. Okay, we will be coming out with one few more series. Don't worry about it. So we can keep on enjoying for the whole week. Okay, so since the humankind always need some or other kind of energy, whenever the humankind came to this earth, they require energy for their body functioning, right? See, we will be starting with a very basic. Where is energy required? Okay. The time the human being came to the earth in any of the form, they require energy, whether it is there in the whether that life has been formed on the oceans, rivers, or land. Okay, whatever it is. Okay. So, humankind always needed energy. Right now, you eat food just because you wanted energy to remain function, right? So, okay. So in earlier times, food was the key source of energy, because at that time scarcity of food was there. People were not finding proper food. That is why the food was the main energy sources inside the body, because they were not looking any kind of energy. Energy keeps on changing from the time it comes to the time right now. What is it? Okay, so the meaning of the energy keeps on changing based on the requirement where you require that energy. Okay, so the discovery of the method, processing and preserving a food mean the new source of energy. Now slowly we have developed some of the techniques where we can process, preserve the type of food sources with the proper increased efficiencies and lesser waste. So that means some technology has been developed in order to fulfill all these activities, right? So obviously man has required some kind of instrument in order to do all this work, right? Then there is a great urgency today to identify sustainable source of energy. Right now, as you all know that throughout the world, earlier from the earlier times, we were depending on too many sources. Earlier, the coal was the main thing. Coal. Coal was the main thing because it is not that much costly, and it can be found everywhere, and people can afford these coal for their energy need. Okay, so right now, because since from earlier times, 1600, 1800, like from the year industrialization, when the industrialization started, and before that also coal was used in various other purposes. Even in thousands of years back also, coal was people were using for some or the other purpose. Okay, so there is a greater urgency today to identify sustainable source of energy, increasing the efficiency of whatever the energy we are using, of energy usage, and finding new sources of energy. Okay, finding new sources of energy. Okay, so if some type of source is getting depleted, we have to make sure that another energy source is there in order to utilize, because we have a huge world population that is growing exponentially, and the energy resources are depleting also, and there are huge environmental concern also everywhere. Now you can heard that word, please save the environment, please save the environment. Everywhere you heard this word, right? So all these things we are needing. Okay, so the history of how energy is and was used illustrate how competing uses dictate the exploitation of resources, often to the detriment of the original but less powerful first adopters. Charcoal, as you all know that charcoal as a fuel was used for cooking earlier. Okay, it has a long history. Charcoal has a long history for using as a cooking for a long term history. But right now, for cooking, this has not been used. But right now, people have that kind of fantasy that they wanted to cook their food in charcoal. So that is why we can use that in barbecues. You have heard that barbecues, right? Where everything is cooked in the coal and charcoal, right? So based on the time, based on the need, the type of fuel and the type of resources keep on changing. Still right now the oldest fuel is using, just because we wanted to utilize during our barbecues and all those things. Okay, so 5000 years ago people found that it was useful in smelting iron, and in the bronze age applied it to the production of copper and more valuable bronze. Okay, 5000 year people were using energy to smelting of iron, and in the bronze age it applied to the production of copper and a more valuable bronze. Okay, so there are subsequent development caused by the clearing of woods. Earlier people used to clear the woods in order to lighten their homes, in order to do some kind of work over there. But right now the clearing of forest, clearing of wood has been for social, totally a different purposes. Earlier, the wood, the type of forest is cleared only for some kind of special work, that if they wanted to do agriculture or any kind of thing. Okay, but right now the forests are cleared for any kind of purpose. So first of all, the main thing is that lots of industrial development is happening. Lost a lot of housing projects are coming, so forests are being cut off for industrial development and for agriculture, for housing development. So it is not visible to destroy the forest in order to industrialize that place. You can find different places in order to industrialize, but so that is why we are looking for some different sources of energy in which we do not require to clear off the forest and all those things. Okay, even during the World War I and II, okay, we have witnessed what the horrors and the destructive power of the nuclear energy. We all know that it is the Japan on which this experiment has been done by dropping the atomic bomb, nuclear bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and we can see the type of energy that bomb can produce. Okay, but nuclear fuel has two aspects. One is destruction, another one is peaceful. Destruction is like a bomb you're creating. Peaceful is energy generation. That to clean energy, reliable, efficient, reliable and clean source of energy generation. So nuclear fuel is also a kind of fuel which can be used for destruction and peaceful purposes. So we have came from that place from 5,000, 10,000 years till now, and we have utilized various type of resources for our energy needs, right? Now, the debate on the future mix of nuclear power is globally provisioning, because there were huge concerns regarding waste disposal. Sometimes accidents are happening in the nuclear sites, as you all know, Chernobyl and where is that place? Japan, Fukushima nuclear disaster that has happened in 2011, I think. So these are the things which are related to the nuclear issues. Nuclear power is a very efficient, clean and proper way of energy generation, but there is a huge risk is associated with it. Waste disposal, accidental, environmental and social consequences are there, and the continued development and dependency on the nuclear energy for the armaments perspective. So still people are still developing too much of armaments, bombs, the various type of weapons and all those things. Okay, so something related to your so as you all know that nuclear energy is being normally whenever we talk about nuclear, everything the things comes into our mind is nuclear bombs and all those things, but nuclear energy has a different perspective also, but it is having a huge kind of issues related to these things. Okay, so the general argument that environmental factors are not the only one that influences the decision on energy production also applies to what might be called as green and clean energy. So here also we were talking about energy production. Okay, since our topic is on energy security, so nuclear is a important thing that we have to discuss. Okay, so energy production from nuclear sources, also we have to check whether we can call that as a green or clean energy technologies or not. Okay, people say electric cars, we are running electric cars. So from where this electricity is coming? From power station, right? From power station only you are utilizing that power station electricity in order to charge your electric cars, right? But on what basis that power plant has been developed, that you should know whether the power plant is renewable or not. If it is on coal, or if it is on petrol, diesel or any other thing, or nuclear. So we can, if it is based on coal and we are utilizing that power station electricity, electric car, so we will say that yes, we have started using renewable energy, but we cannot say it directly, because yes, electric car is a kind of usage of electricity and we are removing the fossil fuels from the side, but actually from where that power has been generated is also accounted over here. So we should also make sure that from where the power is coming. Okay, so we have to make sure that power generation should be also greener and has to be green and have a clean technology base. Okay, now right now people are becoming more and more informed regarding what type of power is there, how, from where that power is coming, from where the electricity is generated and everything. Okay, so people are looking for various type of right issue, wrong issue. Okay, various type of projects, they are questioning the projects to like how they are harnessing the power, how they are generating the power. People were fighting regarding dams, people were fighting regarding the nuclear power also. Okay, so the latest projects to harness power through renewable and sustainable sources, whether those involve estuary barrages, wave power, offshore wind, solar, or bioenergy, these are all there. And people are also are more concerned because right now, as you all know, that this is a time of internet and everywhere the every kind of information is available and people can gauge the type of risk that is involved. Okay, so right now the world has truly become a huge global village. Everybody knows that. So the challenge to achieve the global economic security and sustainable life in the world of increasing the population and multivariable levels of the wealth and social is a complex and vast. So in this global village, we have to make sure that if we wanted to have our own economic security, and if we wanted to have a sustainable living in our world, first of all, we should have a energy security. Energy security. We should not be dependent on any kind of sources from the other countries in order for power generation in our country. We should make sure that proper energy security has been achieved by our country, and we are not dependent on any country for any other thing apart from few things. But still, see, here we are living in a global world and a very connected world. Still we are still dependent on something, but we have to reach to a level where that dependency will not be like that, where if we are not getting something from that, we are totally gone. No, we don't have to do like that. So that is why we have to make sure that as much as we can, we have to make sure that we should become energy self-sufficient country in the world. Because throughout the world, the developed countries who are called as the developed countries have attained the self-sufficiency in the energy generation. Okay, so they are hugely energy secure throughout the world. Okay, so like UK and USA, if I talk about, okay, UK and USA, when I was in UK, there was a little bit of power shutdown for around 1 or 2 minutes. I think only 1 or 2 minutes of power shutdown has happened, and it becomes next day newspaper news. That means there only a minutes of power disruption is a big news. But in India, even for 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 day or 2 day, that is treated as a normal. Okay, so we do not have to go to that level. So we have to make sure that India attain energy security, because with energy only everything else functions. Whenever electricity is there, whenever power is there, then only the things function properly throughout the world. Okay, so we have to make sure that our countries became self-sufficient in the energy. Okay, now any questions till now, guys? Any questions? Okay, so what is energy security? Now comes the question, what is energy security? Energy security is as the uninterrupted availability of energy sources at an affordable prices. That means you should have an uninterrupted availability of energy. Whatever it is, in your houses, in your factories, and whatever the places you have, it should be uninterrupted. Okay, it should not be like today some power line has broken. Okay, something has happened. Now power will not come because of the too much of wind, too much of rain. The water is not the electricity is not coming. No, energy security is an uninterrupted availability of energy at affordable prices, so that everybody can afford it. Okay. In energy, I am not only talking about electricity. Energy can be anything. Even it can be your gas, oil, anything. That is all things that are included over here. Okay, right? So first of all, resilience. Disruption in energy system have the potential to cause severe impact. Like if any disruption happens, like if any power failure or power fault happens, it will have a severe impact, like it will limit the economic and societal development of that place, right? Because automatically the factories will be shut off and everything, the local day-to-day activities will be shut off, and totally will be going into the ages where the electricity was a luxury at that time. Okay, so as such, modern energy systems need to be able to withstand a shock. So whatever the modern energy system should be there, it should withstand any kind of shock, like from natural disaster, any geopolitical conflicts, or new emerging threats related to ongoing digitalization of energy system. Okay, right now I heard a news regarding like a person in USA has taken control, like he was a hacker, he has taken control over the pipeline, USA pipeline of oil, I think. Okay, so it's like he wanted a ransom for that. Okay, he said that you provide me with ransom, I will open your pipeline, because everything is digitally connected. Okay, right now oil is flowing, gas is flowing, electricity is flowing, whatever is flowing, everything is digitally connected and everything is digitally monitored. Okay, so he has taken control over the computer system of the gas flow, and has asked for a ransom, and that has been paid off, I think. So we have to make sure that all these emerging threats, these are all emerging threats. Okay, cyber attacks and all those things are happening in our power lines, in our gas lines and all those things. Okay, so we have to make sure that we should have a proper infrastructure in order to withstand any kind of shock that is happening. Okay, so now weather and climate. The energy sector faces multiple threats from the climate change. They can be extreme weather events, increase stress on the water resource. As you all know that wherever we are producing the energy, like in electricity, wherever, whether nuclear, hydro, or your coal, or wherever you are producing any kind of electricity, water is required at a huge amount. Okay, so water resources and climate and power has a huge correlation. Okay, so we should have a proper technical viability for all the projects. We should make sure that proper cost effectiveness have been taken care of, okay, meet by the rising energy demand driven by the global economic and population growth. So we have to make sure that we should have a proper technical viability. Whatever projects we are making, it should be cost effective. We should not make sure that everything has been running whatever the way it was. No, we have to make sure that it should be very proper cost effective. Okay, now energy and water that we have discussed earlier. Okay, so the interdependence between the energy and the water are set to intensify in the near future, because water is also getting polluted at a very high rate. Okay, and the demand for energy, water pollution is getting increased by day, and even energy generation, energy requirement is also getting increased by exponentially. Okay, so water is essential for all phases of energy generation in power plant operation, whether fossil fuel, biofuels, whatever it is. So we have to properly manage our energy water linkages in a better way, so that we can properly utilize energy and water, and there should be very less wastage of water, and proper efficiency of the water has been taken care of, and this plays a very pivotal role in the successful realization of the range of development of the climate goals. Okay, now comes our statistics regarding the energy security which our India is facing. Normally, India imports 70 to 80% of our oil needs. Everybody knows that. India is the third largest oil consumer in the world. India energy consumption is expected to grow 4 to 5% every year for the next 30 years. Okay. So, current account deficit, everybody knows this is our balance of payment concept. Current account deficit, because we have to pay the money from the current account for the payments of our oil imports. Because of high oil prices, because of the high oil prices, this current account deficit keeps on increasing. Okay, as you all know that in 1991 we have faced the BOP crisis. Everybody knows that balance of payment crisis we have. So one of the major reason was that that we are not even able to pay for our oil imports, and the oil imports has been there only for our 14 days, fortnight days only. We have left with oil imports. That was only we should have there, because of we are importing too much oil from outside, because we do not have our own sources of oil, right? Whatever our sources are there, they are not much to depend on, because they are very less, and we are not able to properly harness our own resources. So what are the futuristic goals? What exactly we are going towards that? First of all, we are moving towards uninterrupted availability of energy sources. There should be uninterrupted availability of energy sources, whatever it comes: coal, gas, oil, solar, biomass, whatever it is. Long term energy security deals with timely investment in various energy things like your solar, wind, tidal. Okay, so as we are moving further in the years, we should make sure that we should focus on long term investment goals. Like right now we are running on coal and diesel. Next we will have to take care of the hydro, solar, wind and tidal. By the time solar, wind and tidal are there, but after that we have to go for some more things, nuclear and everything. Still we are using nuclear, but slowly we have to increase our timely investment on all these activities. Then what are the short term energy security focus on? It has to be focused on supply and demand. They have to make sure that proper supply is there with the proper demand. Whatever the demand we are getting, whether we are providing that supply, how much proper supply is we are providing it or not, we have to make sure that that is happening in a proper way. Okay, so these are the three futuristic goals that we have to follow. Now, what is the importance of energy security? Why we are thinking like energy security? Why we need this energy security? Let me import the oil. Okay, we will pay for it, right? But why we need energy security? Why we wanted to produce it in our country? Because India, if you wanted to become an economic leader of the world, first of all, you should become self-sufficient in energy. You should not be dependent on oil. Okay, you should not dependent on any other country for your energy needs, right? Because if something happens, like if war happens, like it happens in during the Kargil war or any time of war, what has happened? We are dependent on outside world for our weapons, for our oils. Okay, if the future, if at that time the countries do not provide oil to our country, then it will be a total loss for our country, and we might have lost our Kargil war also, right? Because if you fight, if you have to make your troops go here and there, planes to run here from here, it requires oil and gases, right? If oil and gases are not provided at a proper time and a proper quantity, then how you are going to fight a war, right? If you really wanted to have become an economic leader, first become self-sufficient in energy security. Make sure that how much your energy requirement of the country, it is fully met by your own personal resources, and you are not dependent on any other country for that. Okay, till then economic fortunes continue to tie up sharply fluctuating international oil price. Until and unless we become self-sufficient in our energy security, we are still tied up by our fluctuating international prices of oil. Anytime it goes up, anytime it goes down. Okay, right? So still we are like in a swing machine, where sometimes we are going up, sometimes we are going down. Okay, so we should make sure that we remain sustainable and at equitable position. Nobody should be able to control our country. Okay, it should be like that. That is why we really require energy security of our country. Okay, so what challenges India faced? First of all, India has faced a failure to attract the international investment in the domestic hydrocarbon exploration. Like new exploration licensing policy have failed to attract the interest of the large international energy corporation. So because of that, we are not able to properly explore our country. You see, our country, there are huge resources are there in our country, but still we are not able to attract the proper investment, and still we are not able to properly utilize those resources. Coal mining in India suffers from huge kind of delays due to regulatory and environmental clearance, because since in our country right now we are very dependent on the coal. And that is why our PM during the COP summit of 26, Conference of Party 26 in Glasgow, he said that India is going to do all their promises by 2070. Earlier, the goal was to do by 2050, but now India has said that they will fulfill all their promises by 2070. Okay, because we cannot leave the coal until and unless we should be provided with proper things, proper technological transfer, until and unless we will not be leaving the coal, because coal is the main source of energy throughout the world till now. Even China, USA, wherever you go, coal is still the important thing. Okay, so Indo-US nuclear deal help fuel domestic power plants and give India access to critical technologies in a strategic area, but deal did not lead to India setting up a foreign built reactors. Okay, so these are the challenges that has been faced by our India during our energy issues. So first of all, what exactly we needed in our country? Accessibility. Everybody should have a proper access to energy, right? Household sector is the largest consumer of energy, one of the largest consumer of our energy in India, responsible for around 40 to 50% of the total primary energy use. Okay, so around 40 to 50% of the whatever the energy is used in our country is used by the household. Okay, and in the rural areas, biomass accounts for 85 to 90% of the total primary fuel. Okay, primary fuel means these biomass, they just burn it, and by burning it they just use it in their kitchens and for heating purpose or whatever it is. So around 80 to 90% of they are using biomasses. Okay, so here for government wanted to increase electrification over there. Government has to do electrification over there. So because there are serious health concerns, as you all know that ladies do cooking inside the kitchen by using that biomasses, and they have to prefer lungs and respiratory disorder because of that. So that is why government has also launched a scheme that called PM Ujjwala Yojana, where they are providing the cylinder to the people. Around 8 crore household will be provided with the cylinder connections. Okay, presently millions of Indians do not have access to electricity, and many are dependent on still on biomass. Okay, so we have to make sure that we should move toward clean energy at affordable rate. We should move towards the clean energy at affordable rates, because in the normally rural area and town area, what people do is as the cost of electricity is high, that is why they prefer for biomasses, and sometimes what happens is they try to steal it also, steal the electricity from the wires, and because of that there is a huge losses that is happening to the power companies. Okay, now whether we have infrastructure or not, first of all, in the energy area we have a very lack of skilled manpower is there. We have lacks in transportation, like gas pipelines. We lack the transportation, like the pipelines related to gas can be big game changer. Gas play a major role in India energy mix, because right now the future, like earlier people were using cylinders, now people will be using pipelines. I hope people will be knowing that there are huge type of pipelines that are coming with meter connection right now. Meter connection in your houses. Okay, the amount of gas you utilize, you pay the bill in the month end. Okay, so you do not depend on cylinder. Directly the power line, directly your gas pipeline will come into your houses, and then it will be connected to a meter, and based on that you can utilize that. Okay, then we have refineries in our countries are there, but that is also not that much effective, and we need more refineries, more infrastructure to be created, proper pipelines has to be made, and proper exploration has to be done, and supply chain management has to be more focused. Okay, whether supply is being done in a proper and efficient way, because sometimes we are losing too much of power in the power line, sometimes power lines are breaking up, so power lines have become too old, so we have to keep on renovating to our new technologies. Okay, we were still following the older technologies in the power lines, so we have to make sure that power from where the power generation is coming, the power line should be as per the international standard, and we should focus on new and advanced technologies in this areas. Okay, now what are the economic challenges? First of all, we have inadequate domestic supply. Even the coal we are not getting properly right now. I think 1 month back only, people were talking about that Mumbai and Bangalore will be facing the power shortage because the coal has not been reached properly over there, because the rakes from the train, the coal comes, right, goods train, the coal comes, that proper coal supply has not been done, because at the place of coal mining something has happened, so because of that there will be a shortage of coal. If shortage of coal will be there, there will be shortage of power also. Okay, right? So we have an inadequate domestic supplies of coal, oil and natural gases. Rising fuel subsidies are there, government is paying for that huge subsidies, and from where the government is getting the money, it will be a taxpayer money. We are keep on providing fuel subsidies, and that subsidy has to be paid by a taxpayer money, and there is a rising current account deficit that is also happening. Okay, current account deficit that is happening because rising oil prices. Okay, during the lockdown it went to, I think, $20 barrel. Now it is around $90 per barrel is there, so there is a huge fluctuation, huge fluctuation that is happening in the oil prices, and because of that our forex reserve our forex reserve keeps on fluctuating. Okay, so that is why we need economic security, sorry, energy security. Then what are the external challenges? All the external challenges are because of that, because we are not self sufficient in our own energy requirements, right? So first of all, we have a huge dependencies on imported oil. Regulatory uncertainties are there, international monopolies are there, like Iran is there, then we have Saudi Arabia is there, UAE is there, various other countries are there. So these countries have a huge monopolies. They can manipulate the things as per their own benefit. Okay, so India seeks to achieve its energy security through multiple partners. Like right now, India has looking after for various partners, like how to collaborate with these people for energy security. Right now, Indo-US nuclear deal has been signed up. Okay, oil imports from Middle East, India is extending their part, not only from Iran and Saudi Arabia. India is also looking for getting the oil from various other countries also. However, there were too much of conflict that is happening between the India's energy partner, like USA and Iran. USA and Iran. Like if we are moving towards USA, then Iran will be unhappy and Iran will be supplying less. And if we are moving towards Iran, then USA will be unhappy. Okay, so we have to make sure that everything's are in a proper balance, and so that is why, example, USA and Iran, India has to reduce oil imports from Iran in order to make USA satisfied. Okay, but because of that, Iran will feel bad, and if some problem happens in the near future, so if we really want oil from the Iran, then it will be a huge difficulty for us. Right, so we have to, that is why I said these are the type of things that we have to face if we do not have our own sources of energy security, right? So we have to dependent on other countries, and we have to listen to all these countries, and we have to be back down for all these countries for all the things. Okay, so due to the geographical location, as you all know that India's geographical location in South Asia, India facing strategic challenges to meet the energy needs. Then, as you all know that China is our competitor in various other fields. So China's One Belt One Road initiative, which is going to from China to Pakistan, it will give China a definite advantage, which will disturb the India's energy issue. If the China One Belt One Road, like China is building a road from China towards the ports towards the Pakistan. Okay, here we have Pakistan, and here we have China. So China is building one belt, one road initiative. The main focus of China is here that India should reduce, the China should reduce to go through Indian Ocean, because right now everything for the China, whichever China things are going, like if any oil China is asking, everything is going from Indian Oceans towards the China, as China knows that India is on the controlling edge in the Indian Ocean. That is why China is building a pipeline over, one belt one road initiative in order to counter the India, because if China is building over here, so the China ships and all those things does not have to cross Indian Ocean, so they will directly get it from the ports of Pakistan directly to the China. Okay, so it will be a huge disadvantage to the India, and even China will have a definitive advantage over this issue. Okay, then failure to get on board our interested partner. Earlier we have created like Iran, Pakistan, India pipeline we wanted to create. Still it is on working mode. Gas pipeline and Tapi, that is called Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan and India. It is still going on, gas for assured natural gases, but still the work is going on. Whether it has been reached, no, it has not been reached for a proper conclusion. Still the talks are going on, everything is going on. Okay, so if Iran, Pakistan, India pipeline, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India pipeline work becomes successful, then it will be a good game changer for India, because India will have an uninterrupted supply of power from various other countries. Okay, so these are some of the external challenges that India is facing. Now, what are the measures to taken to enhance our energy security? First of all, we have to increase the accessibility to the clean energy, like as the government has taken the pledge that every electricity to be given to every household by 2022. Then to bring clean fuel in the rural area under Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. Solar irrigation pump set distribution are being given. Utilization of non-conventional sources, solar, geothermal, tidal and wind. Since last 2-3 years, we have heard lot of solar things as happening. Even wherever you go, you can see the solar power plants are there, and everything related to solar are there. Okay, so solar has taken a huge leap since the government has came up into the field of renewable energy. So then we have a enhancing efficiency. So whatever energy source we are utilizing, we should have a enhanced energy efficiencies over there, like National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. It should conduct a thorough cost benefit analysis of the available energy efficient technologies. The national and state designated agencies working in the area of energy efficiency should be strengthened. So whatever the national and the state agencies are there who are working towards the energy efficiency, whether proper energy efficient working is happening or not, whether too much of losses are happening or not, also they have to make sure that we have to strengthen all these infrastructure in our country. Okay, then increasing the vehicle fuel efficiencies by upgrading up to BS6 norms. Okay, we have to make sure that we should utilize the clean energy, clean fuel and all the things. Then what are the policy changes are required? What are the policy changes that has been required in order to have an energy security in our country? Around 3/4 of our power comes from coal power point. Okay, so we have to increase this. We have to increase this and also reduce imports. We are importing coal from outside also. We have to make sure that regulatory clearance has to be fast track them. Okay, improve the labor productivity. Whatever the labor productivity is there, we have to improve that so that we can utilize them in a proper way. Keep on increasing the coal production. Coal production has to be increased in order to have energy security in our country. Enhanced efficiency is required. Whether you are producing energy from any of the sources, efficiency is a must. Like if you are producing it from a coal and you are utilizing only 40% of that energy, that means 60% is getting wasted. So we have to reduce this. Right? Then we have come up with a new policy, that is hydrocarbon exploration and licensing policy. HELP is a good process in that direction. So here the companies can come and bid for the process, and it is like a model, profit sharing model with the government. So you can just explore the hydrocarbon and you will get the license for that, and based on the profit sharing basis you can just explore, and you can have your own refineries, you can have your own facilities, and you can just have a profit sharing ratio between the government and the company. Okay, then India energy security scenario 2047. It's a scenario building tool. If you go to the IESS 2047, if you search in the internet, you will find that it is like a tool where everything has been there, like solar power, wind, coal, nuclear. So you can just find it out, and find it out the scenario what will be happen in the future energy scenario. You can predict the potential future energy scenario by putting the various parameters over there. Okay, so this has been launched by our Niti Aayog. It's like a calculator for that. Okay, it's like a calculator. Okay, what it do is it explores India possible energy scenario across energy supplies, like from wherever energy is coming by solar, wind, biofuel, oil, gas, coal, from wherever the energy is coming and where we are utilizing it. So it is like a calculator whether we are going in the right direction, whether proper energy security scenario has been followed, till what time we are going to achieve our energy security. Okay, so based on that you can use that calculator in your way. Okay, so you can go to that website and find it out, and you can check over there what is how to utilize that calculator and all those things. Okay, so what is the infrastructure need that we have to do? First of all, we have to augment the refining and the distribution system, right? We have to increase the refining and distribution system. Then city gas distribution has to be increased, proper pipelines has to be laid for that. Okay, hydropower has to be increased progress or capacity under construction has to be done. Proper rehabilitation of the people who are living across that places, resettlement has to be done in a proper way. Strategic petroleum reserve, very important. During the lockdown, India has filled their own strategic reserve. Okay, because at that time the oil has reaches to a maximum low amount at that time. I think around $20 or $19 per barrel. At that time we have buyed too much of oil from the various oil exporting countries, and we have kept it under our underground rock caverns. Okay, that are there in the Vishakhapatnam on the east coast, Mangalore and Podur on the west coast. Okay, these are the places we have strategic oil reserve are there, and these are used for emergency uses. Emergency use. Okay, right now we have so much of oil reserve that we can utilize this for 15 to 22 days. 22 days without increasing the price of an oil. We can utilize this as for 15 to 20 days. That much of reserve we are having. Okay, now what is right now Indian energy diplomacy, like how India is diplomatically talking with each and other countries regarding its energy security. Okay, so India has setting up of energy relationship with various neighborhoods or other countries like Myanmar, Vietnam, Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan, Gulf countries. So wherever the things are there in excess, so we have created a energy relationship, and even our PM has gone to that place and as a in a various type of events in order to have a talks regarding the energy requirement. Indian US nuclear deal is providing the cutting edge technologies. Okay, and even India started to engage with Kazakhstan and Australia for nuclear fuels. Okay, Australia I think is on the first for having the huge amount of nuclear resources throughout the world. Okay, so India has also started engaging with Kazakhstan and Australia regarding the nuclear fuels. India has contacted Shanghai Cooperation Organization as a membership could be now play a bigger role in ensuring the greater energy cooperation between, like we will be able to link our Central Asia, South Asia and various other countries. So proper linkages is required, proper networking is required. Linkages, networking, all these things has to be done in order to have a proper energy security throughout our country. Okay, so this is called India's energy diplomacy. Okay, So what are the prominent promotion? Now we are doing promotion of renewable energy also, because we have done our promise at COP. So India wanted to achieve 175 gigawatt of target by 2022. Okay, and we have also reached very close to this number. Solar Energy Corporation of India Limited is helping to bring down the prices of the solar energies, and they will also provide the solar energy in a grid scales and batteries and all those things. As you all know that this is the first international organization that has headquartered in India, International Solar Alliance, that has been headquartered in India, Gurgaon. Okay, it is an alliance of 121 countries, initiated by India, and these are the mostly for the members who are there in the sunshine areas, like if between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, between all these places, those countries are there who are very rich in sunshine and solar energy. So these are the countries, they are the members of International Solar Alliance. Okay, so some of the energy conversion technologies are also required in order to harness the proper energy that is there, like wind, hydro, wave and solar, tidal, geothermal, wind, hydroelectricity, wave and tidal energy, geothermal energy. So various technological transfers, conversion technologies are required if we need to harness in a proper way. Okay, so we have to utilize from wherever we can utilize the energy from wind, hydro, wave, tidal, solar, geothermal, wherever it is. Each and every part of energy we have to utilize. Then only we can say that we become 100% self-sufficient in energy security. Okay, so biofuels are also there. There are first generation biofuels, second generation biofuels are there. Okay, normally first generation biofuels are produced from the crops directly from the fields, such as cereals, maize, sugar beets, canes and rapeseeds. And second generation biofuels are produced from the residual and waste products from, example, like industry and household. For this, technology is important. We are moving towards the better technology so that we can properly utilize the waste material from industry and household and then convert that into the biofuels in a proper way. Okay, right now ethanol mixing is going on. Ethanol mixing. Okay, ethanol mixing is going on, and in the petrol, because we have to reduce our oil bills. Oil bills mean we are importing our oil. So if we are mixing the petrol with ethanol, so like if earlier we were using 100% of petrol, now we are getting mixed petrol, like if we are mixing around 10% of ethanol, then 90% will be petrol, right? So now the oil bill will be reduced. Now our target is to achieve 20% mixing of ethanol. Our target is 20% mixing of ethanol in order to reduce the prices of oil from the oil bills that we are paying to international, so that it will bring our current account deficit down. Because the less we import, the less we pay, right? So that is why ethanol mixing is also we are focusing towards. Okay, so this is the sustainable development goal. That is the seventh goal that everybody has to follow, and by 2030 every country has to achieve that. That is the seventh goal, is affordable and clean energy. Okay, affordable. Man, it is useful for phase 1, phase 2, any exam it is useful. Anywhere, if you are going for writing any descriptive test or any of the your MCQ questions, these are the things which can be asked. They can ask you which sustainable goals talks about affordable and clean energy. Then what you will do? You will say that the seventh goal of SDG is telling about affordable and clean energy. So there are total 17 goals are there. In the 17 goals, seventh goal is affordable and clean energy. Okay, so what is all this? Ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable and modern energy for all. Globally, what is happening is, what is global scenario right now is 12.6% still lacks access to modern electricity throughout the world. Modern accounts for roughly 2/3 of global greenhouse gas emissions. What is happening in India is What is the Indian scenario is? Nearly 84.5% people have access to electricity. That is a great number. Still, we have to achieve the 100% level. Okay, 100% villages have been electrified. Still, some villages are there which are still out of that. Okay, power cables from the grid have reached a transformer in each villages. So right now each villages have been reached by a transformer and a grid has been there. Okay, but 31 million household still lack access to electricity because they might not be taking connection because of the high rates of electricity. Okay, still electricity have reached each and every house, each and every villager, but people are lacking the electricity access because of various reasons. Okay, so what are the ambitious target for 2022 is 175 gigawatt of energy capacity. So this 175 gigawatt, you should remember guys, 175 gigawatt we have to generate, and it has been blocked over here, like 100 gigawatt from the solar, 60 gigawatt from the wind, 10 gigawatt from your biomasses, and 5 gigawatt from your hydropower plant. So it comes out to be total of 175 gigawatt of renewable energy we have to do by 2022. Okay, so here I have talked about the Ujjwala Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, right? From woman development to woman-led development, Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. It will cover around 5.4 crore women having LPG connection. Target is to achieve 8 crore women, okay, because they were suffering from lungs diseases and various other things because they were working on coal and biomasses fuel. So right now cylinder has been provided to those people so that they can utilize the clean energy. So this is all called energy security only. Okay, so government is also focusing towards electrical vehicle segment, 3-wheelers and 2-wheelers run to electricity by 2025. Government has rolled out subsidies on pushing electrical vehicle buses. Then they are planned toward electrical vehicle ecosystem from charging into battery manufacturing and all those things. Okay, so these are all the things we have to focus, and we have to focus on to get India's to be the fully energy security country. And until and unless India becomes a fully energy security country, until and unless the government or the India will not be able to in a position for high level of economic development, because we are still focusing and dependent on the other people for our resources. So we have to make sure that we have to generate our own resources. We have to look for our own different type of resources that we can harness, and we can utilize that in a proper way so that our dependency get reduced in the world. Okay, so as you all know that I have just not talked about International Solar Alliance. Okay, what is ISA? ISA is a 120 nation bloc between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Most of the countries are from Africa and South America. Okay, so it has been headquartered at Gurgaon. Okay, so it will promote solar energy technologies. It will ensure solar light for household by 2022. It has a mechanism to reduce the cost of capital, e-portal to share their experience and practices. Okay, so this is the first international organization that is headquartered in India. Okay, so at the last I would like to say is that we need to build huge amount of capacity in research and skill building. Okay, still various challenges are there. Like carbon emission, air pollution. Okay, and so that is why we have to make sure that with proper challenges under control, we have to reach our energy security. Okay, still in COP 26 people have asked to reduce the coal consumption, but actually we are still in a developing phase and we cannot reduce our coal consumption. Okay, so it is the duty of the developed world in order to provide with the proper technologies, cleaner technologies to the developing world in order to make sure that we should reduce our fossil fuel consumption. But until and unless they provided us with our proper technologies and various other things, we will not reduce our coal consumption, right? So international energy security scenario should guide the policymaker in energy sector. We should make sure that we should utilize this tool in order to analyze by making what type of thing and which type of thing we can just make our own energy security scenario, and we can reach our energy security in a proper way. So India also need a long-term ensure planning for universal energy access, and also meeting the commitment under the Paris Agreement that we will reduce to 25 to 30% of our carbon emission by 2030 at 2005 level. That means whatever level of the carbon emission that we were doing in 2005, we will reduce it to 25 to 30% by 2030. But for that, we will be requiring some kind of resources from the other world. Okay, during the Paris Agreement only, there was the agreement that has been signed that developed world will be providing $100 billion every year for this purpose. But still the developed world is not providing that much of money, and still they are not honoring their commitment. That is why but India is still on their track of achieving their own target, right? India has given their target, and India is on the verge of achieving their targets. Okay, COP26 member need to fulfill their goals, and also goals with differentiated responsibility. Okay, every country is not same, so every country's responsibility is also different. Okay, India has shown to the world that we still, even if we are a developing country, we are following so much for renewable energy. So every country should follow the same scenario that India is doing. Okay, so guys, this is the last for our lecture today. If anybody has any kind of doubt, please let me know, guys. Anybody has any doubts? Anybody, anything they wanted to ask me, they can ask me. Guys, anybody want to ask me anything? Okay, so guys, today again I have a lecture at 9 p.m. So there we will be discussing basics of ethics. We will be discussing basic of ethics at 9 p.m. Okay, and see you at 9 p.m. today, and till then never forget to like, subscribe and follow. Happy learning, guys. Thank you so much for attending the lecture. It's always good to see you that you attend the lecture at a proper time. Thank you so much, and see you at 9 p.m. guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye and take care.